Alright, so next I'm going to attempt to clone the hard drive. This is a Maxter 250 gigabyte hard drive. Brand new. So I'm going to set this to as a slave. Copy the old hard drive onto this if it will work. And if it works, then I'll set this one to master. I'll leave the old one in here. I'll just leave it disconnected so I don't lose it or it gets damaged. Because there's space in here for 2 hard drives, so I'll just leave it in there. It'll just be disconnected. And if something goes wrong with the new one, I can just reconnect it. So let me go ahead and install this. Well, we hit a bit of a snag. This is the old drive, the 80 gigabyte. This is the 250. I got it hooked up to the slave. I removed the jumper on it because it said no jumper equals slave. This is the master. It's going to copy from here to here. However, this is the power, extra power. It don't reach. This is the power for the main one. I even cut one of the connectors, the little zip ties to hold it in place. Didn't help. It don't reach. That's as far as it goes. So now I got to order me an extender, a male to female 4-pin IDE power connector extension. Won't reach. Okay, so I don't need the extender cable after all. I did order one anyway. They had it wired wrong. So I found a cable that had 2 of the Molex connectors on here. So now both drives have power. And you got this one up here. This cable here is what was hooked up down here, so I didn't want to reach. You know, typical China. So they're connected. No jumper on the spare drive because it said no jumper equals a slave. So I'm going to see if we can attempt to clone this drive to this one, if it will work or not. So let's power it back up and see what happens. Okay, now we're in the cloning menu. The mouse is very sensitive. Clone disk. The mouse is very sensitive right now. Let me pause. This is going to take forever. And away we go. Pain in the ass trying to get the mouse to line up with the buttons. Move it like a hair and it's already at the top of the screen. The mouse is very sensitive in this mode. But supposedly it's doing something. 74.52 gigabytes to 232.9 gigabytes. 80 gigabyte hard drive installed, and it's going to a 250 gigabyte hard drive. Hopefully. Won't let me change nothing, so hopefully it recognizes it. Let's see if it's successful or not. About a half hour to go, so come back in a bit. Well, it says it was successful. So now I need to switch to the jumper and switch it to master and see if it will boot up. And it tells you to use a acronis drive cleanser if you're going to remove the old disk and you're afraid about privacy. I'm going to keep the old disk as a backup, so in case it didn't work or some other shit, so I can just hook that back up. So if you've used the automatic mode or manually configured the new hard disk as the bootable drive, make it primary master by switching the appropriate jumpers on it before booting. So you see the guide supplied. So I'll click OK, and I guess I'll shut the computer down, switch the cables, and see if it works. Alright, now it's hard to see. This is the 250 gigabyte one. Set the master. Well, the jumper set the CS, or cable select. This computer uses one cable, but you got a black one and you got a gray one for slave and master. So cable select means the position of the cable determines whether the drive is the master or a slave. So I gotta set the master, or cable select, because that's what the old one was set to. So I put this one in the cable select also. Got it plugged into the master slot. This is the 80 gigabyte one. It's going to stay in here, but disconnected as a backup, so I don't lose it or don't damage it. Power to it. Like I said, they had this thing wired backwards, so I found one that works. I don't need the extension cable after all, but I ordered it anyway because you never know. So I was buttoning it back up and see if it boots successfully, and if it asks me to register Windows or not, or if it cooperates. Moment of truth. Alright, moment of truth. Power on. Will it read? Will it boot to Windows? Or will it be a cunt and not do nothing? Now, so far it looks promising. Doesn't necessarily mean nothing. Will it work? Will it ask me to activate it? Did anything get corrupted in the process? And I will come back when it loads fully, if it does. Gotta wait for the wireless adapter to come up and antivirus and all that stuff, so we'll be right back. Look at that. Success. Use space 55.5 gigabytes, 177 gigabytes free. Capacity 232. Now, it did give me a thing about new hardware was installed and I need to reboot, so I don't know what got installed. But it says to reboot or new hardware might not work. And it looks like everything worked. Reload support here, that's all here still. This is also how you get around ransomware. You know, if you get one of those advanced viruses that lock your computer and say, pay us $900 in bitcoins or whatever before we unlock it. You know, you got the original hard drive, just reclone it. So, let me reboot it, because it said to reboot for whatever reason. See if it keeps wanting to do that or not. Oh, whatever it wanted to install, it's happy. Didn't prompt me again. Free cell works. These don't work on Windows 10. Windows 7 didn't come with games. It didn't have like a 3D software or whatever it is that's required to make these work. Notice how the king up there follows your mouse. So, cloning was a success. So, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.